Hello students, today we are going to study trading account, profit loss account and balance sheet with adjustments. Earlier in the class we have done the simple questions related to trading account, profit loss account and balance sheet, but today we are going to study it with the adjustments. This is the trial balance or the question which is given. So the simplest form of solving this question is to bifurcate the items from the trial balance first. Right, so let's get started. First is your opening stock, which will be recorded trading के debit side पे. Then we have purchases, it will be recorded trading के debit side पे. Return inward, it is the form of your sales return, it will be recorded trading के credit side पे, sales से minus. Then we have wages, this is wages factory, so it will be recorded trading के debit में. Why? Because it is the form of factory or direct expense. Then we have wages office, it will be profit loss के debit side पे. Why? Because it is the form of indirect expense. Then we have lighting and heating, it will be recorded trading के debit में. Why? Because it is again the form of direct expense. Then we have rent, rent will be recorded profit loss के debit side पे, because again it is the form of indirect expense. Then we have telephone expenses, insurance, advertisement, journal expenses, all these are the form of your indirect expense, so it will be recorded profit loss के debit side पे. Right, next item we contain as bad debts. Bad debts and discount allowed, both are the items which are related to the loss for the business. Losses are always recorded profit loss के debit side पे. Then we have drawings, drawings will be recorded balance sheet की liability side पे, capital से minus किया जाएगा. Then we have bills receivable, it will be recorded balance sheet की asset side पे. The next item that we contain is cash in hand, cash at bank, sundry debtors, motor van, office furniture, plant machinery. All these are the form of asset for the business, so it will be recorded balance sheet की asset side पे. Right, next is your sales, sales will be recorded trading के credit side पे. Next item is return outward, return outward will be recorded trading के debit side पे, purchases से minus किया जाएगा, because return outward is the form of purchase return. Then we have discount, discount, this discount contains the credit balance, so credit balance indicates that this discount is the discount received, so it will be recorded profit loss के credit side पे. Right, next we have is provision for bad debts, this you mark it as a star, we'll discuss it with the adjustment. Next item we contain as bills payable, it will be recorded balance sheet की liability side पे. Then we have sundry creditors, it will be recorded balance sheet की liability side पे. Next we have capital, it will be recorded balance sheet की liability side पे. Okay, after preparing the trial balance, after bifurcating the items of trial balance, next we have as adjustments. There are 5 adjustments in this question. So before starting the adjustment, let me tell you one thing. The adjustments are always treated at 2 places. One will be trading account or profit loss account. The second will be always in the balance sheet. Okay. The first adjustment is related to closing stock. So it will be recorded at trading account के credit side पे, and the second adjustment, the second bifurcation will be done in the balance sheet की asset side पे. The second adjustment is related to depreciation on 3 assets, that is plant and machinery, office furniture and motor van. First we'll charge the depreciation on plant and machinery. Depreciation is the form of loss for the business. Why? Because depreciation means reduction in the value of asset, right? And losses are always treated in the profit loss की debit side पे. So how are we going to record? To depreciation on plant and machinery, 10% of 50,000. That will give you the value as 5,000, which will be recorded in the outer column. The next bifurcation will be done, the next adjustment will be done as balance sheet की asset side पे. Balance sheet की asset side पे how are we going to record? Plant and machinery 50,000 less depreciation 5,000. We are going to get the value as 45,000, that will be recorded in the outer column. Right. In the same adjustment, we have the next as depreciation on office furniture. Office furniture पे again the same way we have to charge the depreciation. It is the loss, so it will be treated profit loss के debit side पे. To depreciation on office furniture, 10% of 2,600. That will give you the value as 260. That will be recorded in the outer column. Okay, the next it will be treated at the second place. It will be balance sheet की asset side पे. Balance sheet की asset side पे how are we going to record? Office furniture 2,600 less depreciation 260 will give you the value as 2,340. Okay, then we have to charge depreciation on motor van. Motor van again depreciation is there, so depreciation is the form of loss. Losses are always recorded profit loss के debit side पे. So how are we going to record? To depreciation on motor van, 10% of 12,000, that is the value of motor van. It will be 1,200, which will be recorded in the outer column. Okay, the second it will be treated at बैलेंस शीट की एसेट साइड पे, बैलेंस शीट की एसेट साइड पे मीन्स मोटर वैन 12,000 less depreciation 1200, it will give you the value as 10,800. Okay, now coming to the third adjustment, let's see. The third adjustment is provide 4% for bad debts, right? So you have to remember one thing, this adjustment is related to bad debts. Now you have to be careful about the three things. Firstly, when the bad debt is given in the bad debts is given in the trial balance. Secondly, the bad debts provision related to the bad debts is also given in the trial balance. Okay, the thirdly, the next your provision is also given in the adjustment. Okay, now the three things should be there in the question. Then how are we going to solve bad debts? Bad debts are the form of loss for the business, right? Losses are always recorded profit loss के debit side पे, right? So how are we going to record? See, two bad debts 2,500 plus new provision for bad debts. New provision from where are we going to get? It will be given in the adjustment. 4% of 45,000. 4% of 45,000. You have to be careful. This 45,000 is the value of debtor. Why? Because the debtors, the bad debts is the amount which is not realized from the debtors, right? So that is why 4% of 45,000 will be 1,800, which we are going to add over here, which will give you the value as 4,300, that we are going to write it in the inner column. Next, what are we going to do? We are going to reduce the value of old provision given in the trial balance. Old provision will be the provision which is given in the trial balance, right? So we'll subtract the old provision 2,500. We'll get the value as 1,800. 1,800 will be recorded in the outer column. The next treatment of bad debts will be done in the balance sheet asset side. How are we going to record? Sundry debtors 45,000 less. You have to be careful over here that the new provision given in the adjustment will only be subtracted from bad debts. Okay, new provision for bad debts will be subtracted over here. That is 1,800. That will give you the amount as 43,200. Okay, so the next adjustment, coming to the next adjustment. This was all about your bad debts adjustment. The next adjustment is related to provide 2%. It is written provide 2% for discount on creditors, right? So the next adjustment is provision for discount on creditors. Provision for discount on creditors means, again, this provision is related to creditors. Creditors per discount we are receiving. So discount we are receiving means this is the income or gain for the business. Income and gains are always recorded profit loss के credit side पे. So it will be recorded by provision for discount on creditors 2% of 52,000. That will give you the value as 1040, right? Secondly, it will be treated at balance sheet की liability side पे. How? Sundry creditors 52,000 less provision for discount on creditors, because this much discount we have received now. That means this amount we don't have to pay to our creditors, right? And creditors are the form of liability. So it will be recorded 52,000 less 1040. That is the provision for discount on creditors. The amount that will be recorded in the outer column as 50,960, right? The fifth adjustment that we have relates to your outstanding. See, outstanding is always recorded where the expense related to the outstanding is recorded, right? So this factory wages is always recorded trading ke debit side mein, because it is the form of your direct expense. So the outstanding will always be recorded with it, right? So this is trading के debit side पे. First treatment will be trading के debit side पे 2 factory wages 1,50,000 plus outstanding, that is 2,000. That will give you the value as 1,52,000. That will be recorded in the outer column. The second treatment will be done in the balance sheet liability side. Why liability? Because outstanding means due but not paid. Due but not paid means it is still a liability to be paid, right? So outstanding factory wages, but the amount which has to be recorded should be the amount only of the outstanding, not the amount which is written over here. Okay, next adjustment. Again, in this adjustment we have outstanding related to telephone bill also. Telephone bill, again, outstanding with whichever expense it is recorded, it will be recorded in the same place. So telephone bill will be recorded at the same place where we are going to record telephone bill. So telephone bill is the indirect expense. It will be recorded profit loss के debit side पे. How? To telephone bill 350 plus outstanding 150. Right? We are going to add the amount and we are going to write it in the outer column. Right? नेक्स्ट ट्रीटमेंट विल बी डन बैलेंस शीट की लाइबिलिटी साइड पे. वाई लाइबिलिटी? बिकॉज आउटस्टैंडिंग मीन्स ड्यू बट नॉट पेड. ड्यू मीन्स स्टिल इट इज द लाइबिलिटी टू बी पेड. So it will be outstanding telephone bill. The amount will be 150, which will be recorded in the outer column. Okay, so this was all about your working of the adjustment. Now you all can prepare trading PL and balance sheet. Okay, see what you have to do. You already have the solved question in your hand. You just have to make the format of trading account, profit loss account and balance sheet, and you just have to calculate the gross profit, net profit and the total of your balance sheet. Okay, so in the trading account, how are you going to record? All the items related to your direct expenses or the factory expenses will be recorded as we have discussed earlier, right? Bifurcations and the adjustments. Okay, then after recording each and every item, what are we going to do? We are going to total the debit and credit side. Whichever side's total is greater, जिस side का भी total ज़्यादा आएगा, उस side का total you have to record it with the double line. Okay, then wherever we are getting the balancing figure, in this question we are getting the balancing figure on the debit side as 1,25,900. क्योंकि this is the debit side balance, so it will be treated, it will be recorded as gross profit. It will be written as gross profit transferred to profit and loss account. Okay, okay. Then after preparing your trading account, you have to prepare your profit loss account. So when you start with the profit and loss account, first thing that you have to record is gross profit. तो ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट बिकॉज इट इज़ गिवन इन दी डेबिट साइड, तो दी लेजर अकाउंट का जैसे आपको बताया था मैंने, दी सेम वे इट विल बी फॉलोड. इट इज़ रिटन ऑन दी डेबिट साइड, तो इट विल बी फॉलोड ऑन दी क्रेडिट साइड. इट विल बी रिटन बाय ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, राइट. Then we are going to record all the indirect expenses and the losses on both the sides, debit and credit. And then afterwards, we are going to do the total of both the sides. Same way as we have done earlier in the trading account. Whichever side total is greater. Okay, in this question again, credit side total is greater, right? So total of the greater side will be recorded in the double line, with the double line. And then the balancing figure in this question we are getting on the debit side again. So it will be recorded as to net profit transferred to capital account. Okay, so we have got the net profit also. Now we can prepare the balance sheet. The balance sheet does not contain any debit or credit. It contains liabilities and assets. All the liabilities will be recorded on the over here and all the assets will be recorded over here, right, as we have discussed. Then after recording all the liabilities and assets, what we have to do? We have to just total all the amount of liabilities and assets. If we are getting the total as same total we are getting, both the sides, the total of both the sides are similar, same, then we can say that we have done the question correctly. Here we are getting the total of both the sides as equal total we are getting. Okay, total is always closed with the double line, right? So that we are done with the question. So this way we prepare trading account, profit loss account and balance sheet with adjustments. I hope you all have understood the question. Thank you.